In the month of June, we did a 30-day off-grid challenge. So basically, we challenged ourselves to live without electricity for 30 days to see if we could handle it and how we could grow from that experience. We did pretty good, and we've been waiting to share with you what we've learned and how it was until we got our electric bill. We got our electric bill for the month of June, so here we go. If you didn't watch our previous videos about that, basically we turned off all of our power except for a few things. Our computers, because we need them for work and to do YouTube. And
the incubator.
We had the incubator going and our smoke alarms because they're hardwired in.
And the heat lamp for the chicks.
Yeah. But everything else was off. We turned off our water heater, our electric stove, our washer, our dryer,
lights.
Yeah, no lights, no, just anything, just
nothing.
Yeah, no outlets, no anything, to see how it would be, and it was actually a lot easier than we expected. We struggled with food. I think was the biggest thing. Not having the refrigerator was the hardest part because a lot of the food we eat relied on being refrigerated or frozen, like frozen veggies and stuff. So we kind of had to buy canned vegetables, which weren't as nice, but we did find organic, non-BPA lined canned vegetables. And we bought some fresh vegetables here and there, but we just don't like shopping like all the time. And the vegetables, just a lot of stuff doesn't stay unless you have a refrigerator put it in. It doesn't keep. Sweet potatoes and onions and stuff are fine, but.
And we couldn't buy beef because normally we buy like a pound of beef at a time, and that lasts us 2 days. So we would have no way to keep it for the next day.
So food was definitely a struggle, but we did learn about peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
Yeah.
Ashley's still hooked on them.
Like, when I first heard of that, I was like, that sounds weird. But then we tried it, and now it's like, I love it. So I would have never had that unless we didn't do this
challenge.
Yeah.
I missed eating cereal too because I couldn't have my milk, but it's fine. So yeah, food was the hardest part. Living without lights. In fact, in most of our house, we didn't even put the bulbs back in yet.
No, we didn't.
It's actually kind of fun to not have lights in your house. Other than that, yeah, it was pretty good. We had to wash laundry by hand. That was mostly Ashley's job. She was...
Yeah, I did most of it.
And it was pretty slow. It was just time consuming.
It's really slow because you have to be there the whole time, plunging the clothes.
Draining, wringing.
Yeah.
All of it, yeah.
And it's like, I feel like they don't get clean, like I can't get all the soap out. It'd be a lot easier if we had a hand wringer, but we had no wringer, so...
In our experience, and maybe we just didn't put enough time into it, but in our experience, the clothes didn't get as clean. They got clean, but not as clean.
Like, I feel like I was doing it forever, and it still doesn't get clean.
Our washing machine does do a better
and
job.
It takes so much water to do it, like in a tub like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does use a lot more water and time. So
time, that's the key.
I would say that being off-grid can slow you down if you're not prepared and you don't have your systems in place to make things easier. So if you just lost power and you had to survive, you're going to be spending a lot more time trying to prepare food, trying to wash laundry, trying to do the things that you normally wouldn't even think was a big deal in the past. With cooking, we used a propane burner. I wanted to cook over fire, but we just never got anything set up for that, and it was hard because we had a lot of weird weather. It's always like too windy or too rainy. The propane made it super easy to cook because we could cook inside our shed with the door open or whatever.
You don't have to worry about rain or wind.
Yeah, propane is a lifesaver. Cooking over fire, over wood or whatever, a wood fire is great, but if you don't have the pans, like we don't have cast iron, we'd like to get some in the future, but we don't, because we cook on an electric stove, glass top stove, so we just don't have any cast iron. That's something we might have to look into in the future.
Yeah.
So I was disappointed that I didn't get to cook over fire, over like a wood fire, but it's fine. We survived with the propane.
I like the propane too because you can cook inside, and it's like there's no smoke like a fire.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's clean burning.
You don't have to be like, oh, I can't cook today, it's raining. Yeah, you can just do what you gotta do. it was a pretty cool experience. I want to buy a cooler. I learned about high performance coolers, I guess you'd call them, where they just hold ice for days and days. So
Up
cool.
to a week, right?
Yeah. I want to get one of those. I have one in mind. They're super expensive, but how cool if your power went out, you know? Or if you wanted to be off grid. So I'm definitely looking into one of those.
And then you just have to go to the store and buy ice.
But if the
Once in a
ice
while.
lasts like a week, that's really cool.
And before the challenge started, I was thinking like, ew, I'm gonna have to do cold showers. But then I came up with the using the hose in the sun to heat up the water idea, and that worked pretty good the whole month. I didn't take one cold shower.
I tried it and burned the skin off my body. I was like raw all day. I was like,
Well, you have to be careful sometimes.
test it before spraying.
Yeah.
I ended up taking cold showers most of the time, and it was really painful, and
Didn't it give you a headache?
it was like I was like literally dizzy after my shower. Like I couldn't walk straight. I don't know, the cold water just throws me off. But toward the end, I was getting used to it. I think you gotta just get used to
Ew,
that.
I don't
like,
think I could get used to that.
shock. Yeah.
I mean, we already don't have a microwave, we already don't have TV, we already don't have a dishwasher. I mean, we live pretty basically.
Yeah, I think that's why it was easy for us, because we don't really use a lot of stuff. I mean, we use the basics, the washer. We already had the clothesline and everything. We use that usually anyway.
We already don't use AC. I don't know.
So, I don't think we want to live off-grid, and this wasn't really to see if we would want to. This whole experiment was just to test ourselves and, like I said, to help us grow and to learn, you know, maybe we would, you know, come up with some new
Like-
revelation in life.
I would do off-grid if it meant having our own solar system
Yeah.
and having like a washer.
For us, it takes too much time, unless you have proper systems in place.
Yeah.
It takes too much time out of your day to...
I mean, you start slaving over this stuff every day.
Yeah, that you don't need to. And for the minimal cost of electricity, I mean, it's pretty cheap.
Like the service fee.
I mean, just using power. It's not
Yeah.
like you probably spend as much on oil lamps as you do, if not more,
LED.
than using LED bulbs that we use. You know, I mean, cents. And our electric bill, it was actually $17.17 for the month of June. It goes until like the 7th of the next month, so it's the closer we can get it. So there was a week of power being used. Because it runs into July, I mean,
Yeah. It started June like 6th because of the way the meters are read.
yeah.
To July 6th, so
But it was $17, and $9.40 of that was the standard like service fee, just for being connected. $9.40 a month. We use about $5 worth of electricity, and that's using the smoke alarms, the incubator, the heat lamp for the chicks. Wasn't too bad. And then there was like taxes and fees and stuff. So it was actually pretty cheap.
so
And
like $5
last
usage.
yeah, and last June 2016, we actually used $42.96. So 42 versus 17.
Yeah.
Pretty good drop. I think during the summer we average around $40 a month each year for power, and that's using our washing machine, our electric stove, electric water heater, and electric lighting, refrigerator. Yeah. So
That's basically it.
we would like to get that down, but I think that's pretty low considering we use a lot of electrical appliances. And that's it. It was a cool thing. Like we said, we probably wouldn't live off-grid unless we had the systems in place. Solar power. Obviously, we want to run our computers. We want to have a washing machine because we don't want to spend all day doing laundry, especially when you have a baby and you got to do diapers every 2 or 3 days, and you got to do laundry all the time.
It was kind of like normal.
Yeah.
It wasn't that different than our normal life.
If we got used to the oil lamps, and that was fine. The lighting, we had some battery powered lamps, and we used them a lot, and the batteries are still going
yeah,
strong.
we're still using them.
Yeah, so the batteries seem to be lasting a long time.
They're lasting like over a month.
With the new technology that's available, it makes it a lot easier. We got these LED lamps that last so much longer than the old bulbs used to. And like with these if we had a cooler, if we had one of those good coolers, it would have been easy because then we could save our food, we can cool our food, we could eat better.
Yeah, we just weren't set up fully.
So we will be working on that stuff in the future because we're not preppers, but like we want to be prepared for, you know, regular things. We've had power outages and we weren't prepared.
Yeah.
And in the future we're going to be moving. We'd like to move to a different property. We don't know what that property is going to be like. So we just want to be prepared for anything that life throws at us. And so we would like to have certain systems in place to have the ability to survive if we lost power or if we didn't have power for whatever reason. So we're going to buy a cooler at some point if we can afford it, if we can find a way to do it. That's it. Maybe get a better camp cook stove so we have 2 burners or something like that.
Or a grill and the cook stove on the side.
Some really basic things, but living off the grid is definitely possible for anybody, I believe, as long as it's legal in your area, and that's a whole nother video. But yeah, you guys can do it. You just gotta get some simple, you know, basic things set up. You know, obviously, if you live down south, that's gonna be hard because it's like killer hot. But
yeah,
up here, it's not too bad. I think you can survive.
I mean, it gets hot during like July and August.
Yeah. So I guess that's it. We had a lot of fun. We did okay. We made it through, and we didn't cheat. We didn't turn the power on.
Yeah, we didn't go to the laundromat or anything like that.
At the very beginning of the month, I learned that I cannot cut wood by hand, but luckily we had a power inverter. I might have to work on my sawing skills or buy a good hand saw.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much you do rely on power for everything. Like, if I wanted to work on a project, suddenly I'm like, oh, I can't do that because I need my saw or I need my drill or whatever. So we actually put off some house projects.
Like the cedar shingle projects.
Until we were done with this challenge because we couldn't plug stuff in. So, I mean, obviously if you have a generator, that solves that problem still.
Yeah, we wanted to do that project in June, but we decided to hold off until we got our power back on. And also our neighbors moved out, which makes it a lot less stressful,
So that's it. We wish we gave you more videos during that month, but things got weird. You know, we're just going through some odd circumstances right now.
just trying to like sell stuff. That takes a lot of time.
Yeah. We're working on the house. We're trying to sort out what we want to do in life. We're just in some tough times, basically, to put it simply. And you know, you get distracted, and it's hard to make videos, especially when you're not like in that mind frame. You know, when you're stressed about other things, it's hard to think of like, oh, let's make a video.
Yeah.
So, but it was pretty good, and you didn't miss too much anyway.
We pretty much covered all of it. The shower. Maybe I'll link some of the videos that we've done in the description for the off-grid stuff that we've done.
Yeah. So it was a really fun, cool experience. We encourage you to do it. We know that a few of the people who watch our channel, they mentioned that they want to do it, that they're preparing to do it, and I'm excited to watch them. So I hope you guys post videos and show us your own off-grid experience, even if you do it a week or 2 weeks. You know, we'd love to see how it goes and what you get from it. But
yeah.
So that's it for this video.
Check out my Instagram. The link for that will be in the description too. And we'll see you next time.